Good morning. I am Reverend Ron Miyamura of the Midwest Buddhist Temple in Chicago, and thank you for inviting me to speak. I don't know why, because there are a lot better speakers than me. I'm very average, or maybe even mediocre. I'm a country boy, born and raised in Penryn, California, home of the Placer Buddhist Church, about 30 miles northeast of Sacramento. Back in the day, it was a plum and pear orchard area. Fortunately, my parents did not own a farm, but I worked in the orchards and the fruit sheds of the area. Working in a fruit shed for 15 hours a day is a great incentive to go to college. I first attended UC Davis and then transferred to UC Berkeley when I heard about the Institute of Buddhist Studies. It was the second year of IBS, 1967, and it was still a pre-ministerial candidate school. It wasn't a graduate school. And at IBS, I met an old guy from San Diego. For you old-timers, you would know Jim Yanagihara, who went on to become Reverend Jim. Jim went off to Japan after that first year, and then I went off to Japan after I graduated. I finished my master's and I was exiled to Chicago in 1973 to the Midwest Buddhist Temple, where I was fortunate enough to work under the late Reverend Jodo Kono. After his sudden passing in 1977, I became the resident minister here at the Midwest Buddhist Temple. Then in 1981, I resigned from the active BCA ministry. I worked in a warehouse for a few years, and then I got hired at United Airlines. And then I retired in 2010, and I came back to the ministry. So in a way, I've had two careers as a BCA minister. This morning, we celebrate the memorial date of Shinran Shonin, our founder. We call it Ho Onko. Ho Onko is the gathering of gratitude. And we have much to be grateful for what Shinran showed us and what he taught us. But I really would like to talk about how radical Shinran was. Shinran was the first openly married priest. He had a wife, had children, and fortunately, kind of rich, was able to support him. And his youngest daughter, Eshini, and Kakushini, his wife Eshini, the youngest daughter, Kakushini, are the ones who really started Jodo Shinshu, which is another whole story. But Shinran broke many traditions. He was radical and perhaps revolutionary. Not only because he was a married priest, he followed Honen's lead in spreading the Nembutsu teaching to ordinary people. Women, as well as men, could be born in the Pure Land and attain enlightenment. We take it for granted today, but Buddhism was only for the educated and the elite, the nobility. Honen and Shinran brought Buddhism to ordinary people. And it was this was really the core audience of Shinran's teaching, the peasant population who could not read and write. We take it for granted today, but Shinran is the one who really made Buddhism available to us ordinary people. It did not discriminate between men and women, rich or poor, educated or illiterate. Everyone could find enlightenment. The doctrinal basis of Shin Buddhism are the 5 vows, Gogan. The 11th vow, which necessarily assures everyone of enlightenment. The 12th vow, which gives the Buddha of immeasurable light the symbol of wisdom to us all. The 13th vow, which gives us the Buddha of immeasurable life, the symbol of compassion to all. The 17th vow, which gives us the name of Amida Buddha to all. And the 18th vow, which assures birth in the Pure Land of Amida for all, for everyone. And the spiritual basis of Shin Buddhism is what we call Nishu Jinshin, the two kinds of deep awakening. On one hand, I am convinced that I am an evil, ordinary, limited person destined to hell. And on the other hand, I am assured of being born in the Pure Land. It is perhaps subtle, but yet so important. The part of this is that being limited and being born in the Pure Land are not opposites. They are the same. And these things are going on at the same time. Usually, and by using logic, we think, oh, I am destined for hell because I'm so stupid. And then we change directions, and then we realize we are going to the Pure Land. No, Shinran was very clear that both happened at the same time. So it becomes, I am destined to hell, and I am assured of the Pure Land at the same time. It's and. Using logic, this is impossible. Logic says we use or. But the spiritual core of Shin Buddhism makes it clear that we need to use the idea of and. In short, because I'm full of bonno and I'm a bombu, a totally limited human being, incapable of attaining enlightenment, a bombu. And that is exactly the reason we receive the benefits of Amida Buddha. Again, this does not make logical sense. I am human and thus limited, and yet that is what causes me to receive Shinjin, awakening. And when we realize that we receive the gift of Shinjin awakening, we can only humbly say, thank you. And we recite the Namo Amida Butsu in that one thought moment, and it can change our lives. This is the spiritual core of Shin Buddhism. And to perhaps put it another way, and an example I often use, we all like to think we are good people and we do not kill. But when we look closely at killing, we have to admit that we are all killers. In Buddhism, all sentient beings have the potential to become a Buddha. We call it Buddha nature. And all living things are equal because all sentient beings will be born in the Pure Land. That is, plants, animals, and humans are equal because we are all living things. Plants are not above or below animals. Animals are not above or below humans. Humans are not better or worse than plants and animals. Yet, in this world where we live, in order to live, we have to eat. And that means plants and animals have to die. They sacrifice their lives so that I can eat and so that I can survive. The alternative is not to eat, which would mean to starve, which would mean I would kill myself. So no matter what we do, we have to kill. There is no logical way out of this dilemma. To eat is to kill. To starve is to kill. So no matter what I do, I have to kill. So how do we understand this? How do we accept this dilemma? We cannot use brain logic because it simply fails us. We have to seek a spiritual answer. And the only answer that I come up with is that we need to appreciate the sacrifices of others. I have to acknowledge and say thank you to the plants and animals that have sacrificed their lives so that I could live. I simply have to say thank you in a profound way and in a spiritual way. And in part, this is why in Japanese, before we eat, we put our hands together and say, itadakimasu. And we say, gochisousama, when we finish eating. We have to say thank you. And I hope in the future, we will come up with some other English words to express this idea of gratitude, to express our appreciation for the sacrifices of the plants and animals so that I can survive. And as I said, I'm very mediocre, average, I'm not real smart, and I know that. But I have borrowed ideas and thoughts from others. Here at the Midwest Buddhist Temple, I guess you would say my theme is come as you are. Come as you are. We don't have to change. We invite you. And come as you are. I don't even know where I first heard it. I think it was in Hawaii at the Buddhist Study Center, but I don't remember. And one of the most profound expressions of what is Shin Buddhism, comes from your own Reverend Kenji Akahoshi. He says, Buddhism is a religion of thank you and not a religion of please. This is a wonderful expression of the humility and gratitude of Shin Buddhism. And I have borrowed from Reverend Bob Oshta to what has become my usual closing. I first heard a video of Reverend Bob giving a meditation. They called it an invocation at the California State Legislature, where he was the chaplain. And he said, and he closed, Namo Amida Buddha, with gratitude and kindness beyond words. Of course, Reverend Bob says it with perfect timing, and the impact is wonderful. With gratitude and kindness beyond words. So today, we thank Shinran Shonin for his Memorial Day. We reflect on the Nembutsu teaching that showed us a way to enlightenment. And we say, thank you. We remember the plants and animals that sacrificed their lives so that we could eat. And we say thank you. And we remember all the lessons we have learned throughout our lives from other teachers, our friends, our environment. We have so much to be grateful for, and we say thank you. So that is the meaning, I think, of Ho Onko, the ability to say thank you. Namo Amida Buddha, with gratitude and kindness beyond words. Namo Amida Buddha.